Ayo.
Yo.
What to do?
We back at the U.
Sports U here
Sports U here.
on Sunday night.
Sunday night.
9:02
The Jazz game
PM.
just got done.
Whew.
50 points from Jamal Murray. 51 points
51
from Donovan
from-
Mitchell.
Yeah,
Spider.
That's fucking insane.
it is.
These guys been putting on a show lately.
They have. They've
I've
going
been
back
telling
and
you
forth.
guys, man. Jamal Murray, he just needs to shoot more threes, especially
Well,
specifically.
He did
Man,
that
that's
today.
the thing. But he's been more efficient this year than any other year, right?
Yep.
So you
Yeah.
definitely want to give him more shot, like looks,
Mm-hmm.
shot attempts as a whole. But I don't know, man. Like you have MPJ. Would you rather have a shot from MPJ or would you rather have a shot from Jamal Murray? At this point in the playoffs, I'd rather have Jamal Murray taking the shots just because he has the experience. Kind of just
Exactly.
throwing MPJ in there, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
And Jamal Murray gets a lot of his stuff through the system. Like he's kind of he's kind of. I'm not comparing them whatsoever, but he's like a Steph Curry where he's just running around off screens and pin downs. Where I feel like MPJ is a lot of isolation stuff.
Yeah, they just take him off the wing, put him on a block, maybe just
Yeah.
stand outside
and
there, and then
quickly
he,
turn
and
around.
MPJ
he goes to work. He does like one step, and then I'm so fucking long. I'll just go
Literally.
over the top.
And with MPJ, it's kind of like, here, man, like, here's the ball, go get a bucket. Jamal Murray, it's like, all right, we're going to run a set for you.
Jamal Murray. Let's see
Yeah,
here.
You're doing crazy.
11 rebounds, 7 assists, 31 shots to get there.
Damn.
Shot 58%. Only 5 free throws. So that's pretty intense.
He
It
was
is.
shooting, man. He had 27 points off threes alone.
Jesus. And then Donovan Mitchell had 18. And the person that we've been talking about that wasn't going to show up, he actually did show up. Mike Conley's been kind of showing up ever since he got into the series after becoming a dad.
How
He got
many
that
threes?
Fred Van Vliet syndrome.
How many threes did Donovan Mitchell shoot?
Donovan Mitchell shot, let's see here, he
4.
shot 7,
Oh, shit.
made
Wow.
4.
Hey.
Mike Conley shot 8, made 4.
Okay.
He's doing what he's supposed to do.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you know what? They're utilizing Mike Conley a lot better. I think you were mentioning, and I want you to expand on this, how you had an assumption that maybe he wasn't healthy and now he is.
I had a little theory that, yeah, because the dude, if I can pull it up really quickly, dating back even to a couple years ago in Memphis, he had a whole year basically scrapped because of a foot issue. And
It's a
then,
foot. He's so small, though, so it shouldn't affect him that much compared to a
Yeah.
big man.
But also, he's, 32?
Yeah.
So-
Oh, he is old.
He's
He's
kind of
old.
old, yeah. He might have just legit lost a step and probably didn't know how to cope with it at the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he had that foot injury, he came back healthy, and then he re-injured something, and then was compensating it, then injured something, I want to say his knee on the other leg, and then compensating for that and re-aggravated the foot injury. And then throughout this whole season, he's been playing, like he's been healthy enough to play, but he hasn't been fully healthy, and it's just shown. But now I feel like I don't even know how many months they had since March until now, about 5 months off, you know what I mean, 4 or 5 months off. I feel like he's back to close enough to 100. And hopefully he knows how to play with Rudy Gobert in that system now. I'm telling you, man, the loss of Marc Gasol is huge.
So it was an overall good game for both teams.
Mm-hmm.
I guess the difference is that Utah just shot 57% from the field. Denver shot 49. I think Denver only had 6 turnovers.
Right.
Utah has 10.
That's impressive. Only 6 turnovers.
Throughout the whole game, and you lost. Is that impressive still?
Yeah, because I mean, it feels
I think it's impressive too.
Yeah, because you just got out coached in that sense. Like you weren't able to make the down the stretch shots.
Down the stretch, it seemed like it was just. I mean, we were watching it right now.
Yeah.
Just common thing. There were Utah Jazz were up, holding the lead throughout the whole time, and then it just kind of went to fouls.
Right.
Everybody's shooting.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
so really quickly looking at Mike Conley's injury history on Fox Sports, it only goes up to 2017, but literally everything except for one injury has been lower body. So it's right knee, rest, hamstring, ankle, thigh, knee, the one shoulder, hamstring, knee, hamstring, Achilles.
His legs.
Yeah, dude, literally, man. And then the past 4 injuries, basically his whole Utah Jazz tenure, every 2 months he's getting some type of lower body injury.
Ooh.
And then
So-
yeah, he was out for 6 weeks or something.
I mean, here's the thing: if he can stay just healthy for this playoff run,
Right.
then he's doing his job. You know what I mean? That's
Right.
what they need
Literally.
him for.
Right.
Yep.
Other people can get that other job done, where it's to get him to that point. So
Mhm.
hopefully, he had that little stint just for right now.
Yeah, today was a great game. Like
He's
if he
stronger,
can do
man.
that,
He got that dad strength now. His legs are different.
Michael Conley Jr.
So that's a really good series. I know it's 3-1, but it's a shootout every single time.
Yeah.
When I'm watching it, I like that they're using Mike Conley in pick and roll situations. They're giving Donovan Mitchell the ball and getting out of his way so that he can do some work.
Right.
But they're just going to him when they want to. You know what I mean? It's
Exactly.
not forced
It's
ever,
not forceful. No
and it's
more.
not only happening at one time.
Exactly.
So they're mixing it in, and Royce O'Neal's been a big deal. Like, I know he only had 4 points in this game, but if you're watching the games,
He
he's
did the
actually
things
doing a
that
lot of
don't
hustle.
appear on the stat sheet.
Yeah, well, not only that, but he just provides like a different look all the time, man.
Right.
He's getting into the paint at will. Maybe it's because the Nuggets are a little young and they're kind of soft on the inside,
Mhm.
but he's able to get into the paint.
The Nuggets are kind of young and soft on the inside, and that's what like an actual chicken nugget is.
All right, so let's get into the Clippers and the Mavericks.
Ooh.
Insane game today.
Oh my God.
Evened
my
it
boy
up.
Luka. A 40-point triple-double, no?
40 point. He almost had that stat. I think it was like LeBron James had 20 points, 15 rebounds, 15 assists.
With the game winner too.
So you mentioned the game winner, and this is why I feel like it's such a badass fucking game winner.
God.
So first of all, he wasn't trying to get the foul. So he wasn't trying to get into the paint,
straight to it.
and trying to get that superstar foul. And it doesn't happen in the playoffs, nor does it happen at the end of games like that. So they're not going to give you a fucking foul call. Dude, not only does he get the switch that he wants, and that's what they were talking about the whole time, who was onto Reggie Jackson. And so he got the switch that he wanted.
Cooked
And then he
Reggie ass.
crossed him up and does the same move every single time, but he crosses him first, and then he step backs.
Yeah.
And the thing is he only needed a 2 to win the
treasure.
game,
Mm-hmm.
a 1 to tie it, just need 1 point to tie it, so like a free throw. But no, motherfucker went for a 3-pointer. So,
He's so courageous, and that's what I love about him, bro.
well, he knew what was gonna happen.
Yeah.
Dude, 43 points, 17 rebounds, and 13 assists.
And this is crazy because
That's the record I was
literally
trying to bring up.
just
Thank you,
the
Barry.
day before, or no,
Right.
excuse me, 2 days before, he rolls his ankle,
Mm-hmm.
and that shit hurts.
Bro, and KP wasn't playing.
Exactly. I was just gonna mention that.
KP was not playing.
Last
Neither
minute
was Paul
scratch.
George.
Paul George played.
Yeah, bro.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like
Oh.
Come on, bro.
You're a fool, man.
Pandemic P.
Playoff P. What was it? Championship Chuck. That shit was funny, man.
That shit was so funny, bro. Shout out to Chuck.
Hey,
Porzingis.
shout out to Trey Burke and Seth Curry.
Shout out
Those
to
Trey
guys.
Burke had a clutch ass play. Luka airball. I think it was a step back 3. Trey Burke got the offensive rebound, ended up hitting the open 3, and I think that put him up. I think that closed the gap. I don't remember the exact score, but I just remember that being a clutch play. Shout out Trey
He has
Burke.
the same type of factor as a Royce O'Neal when you're not expecting them to be aggressive,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden you're seeing Trey Burke putting the moves on somebody in ISO and then getting into the paint.
Yeah, because it's like Trey Burke is doing what Lou Will does for the Clippers. You know,
Ooh, no, not even close. But
I'm just
Lou-
saying in this series, right? Like right now, like the last 4 games have kind of proven that.
I would think that Tim Hardaway is more of a driver than Trey Burke. But
I'm just talking about like.
Trey,
points off
I
the
mean,
bench, you know
what's it
what I'm
called?
saying?
Tim Hardaway also has a way bigger role, but
Yeah.
Yeah, he definitely.
Lou Will has like as much as a role in the offense as Tim Hardaway.
Oh, that's what you're saying.
And then
Okay.
the way that Lou Will gets into the paint is
right.
way more finesse. I see a hole, and I'm gonna attack that. So Lou Will was insane when it came to that. They were down by like 9 at the end, and they kept pulling closer and closer just because I think it was on like 2 possessions that Lou Will went from coast to coast after a stop, and it's like no wonder the Mavericks are running up the score all the way to 137 or 127, whatever it was, because these motherfuckers are shooting all the time and letting baskets
Shooting.
happen.
Exactly.
shooting. And dude, that Luka legend, man. That dude, the offense goes through him, and that man's showing out.
Every time.
Okay, so we always talk about LeBron James and his system.
Mhm.
It's kind of like the Luka system a little bit.
Yeah.
So 2 things about this game. whenever Luka does his thing where he drive penetrates, and then he like kicks out, man, these guys are making these shots.
They are,
which is nice. But not only that, he got off the floor, and everybody knows that he has this injury, so most of the time they're like aiding it, and then they're keeping up the lead and also extending it as he's on the bench, which was really nice to see today too, because it just brought more confidence for everybody. And you can see it even after that he had that interview, and he was mentioning how, we all believe that we should be here, and if you don't think that we're supposed to win, then
right,
get out of here.
2-2.
The Clippers also led by 20, ended up losing.
Right, and they came back. Right, they were up by 21. The Clippers were up by 21.
Yeah, they're up by 21. They came back.
Ooh.
Doc's saying that his team is just drained right now.
Yep.
And then the media is making it a point to go after playoff P. And then all of his teammates have to defend him and stuff like that.
We've been mentioning it in a past podcast about their inner locker room and just drama within them. So can you only imagine how it is right now, where Paul George has, what was it, like 6 points or something,
Dude,
and then you have Kawhi Leonard who had like 36.
Yeah.
Luka probably has more points in this game than Paul George has in the whole series, maybe.
I can only imagine.
And I can only imagine that other people in the locker room were like, man, they brought you here to get us over the hump, and that's what you're doing.
So part of a Damn I Said That segment, I picked Paul George. He had a really good game one, and we were doing our podcast like right as the game happened.
Yep.
So I picked playoff P, and it didn't work out for me.
Pandemic P.
I should have already knew. Already know. All right, so another crazy series that happened right now is the 76ers got swept.
Man,
swept them.
Yo, can I go off on a tangent
real quick? Let me just say it. We need a Damn I Said That from y'all.
Yep.
Yeah.
Definitely me.
Y'all both of y'all picked
me.
the 76ers. I stayed with the Boston Celtics.
Yeah, you want to say
Let's hear that real quick.
Damn, I said that.
Damn.
Well, say it with more enthusiasm. I want to enjoy it. You know what I'm saying?
You a piece of shit, bro.
All right,
I thought Joel Embiid was at least good enough to get himself a game.
I'm going to expand on that. Gifting, go ahead and go on your tangent.
Yo, fuck Brett Brown, fuck Al Horford, fuck Tobias Harris. You got to get him out of there, bro. Elton Brand, got to get him out of there, bro. It got to go. Got to go. Fuck it. Just gut everybody. Just gut it.
I think before the season, you agreed with me when we thought that this was a good roster going into the season.
Yes.
So why do you want to get rid of Elton Brand too?
Yeah, that he blew up the team with Dario Saric, Robert Covington, and he didn't re-sign Jimmy Butler, and that's kind of looking like a bad decision right now.
Well, that's easy to say right now, but do you think that's all his fault? You said fuck Brett Brown too.
But fuck Brett Brown, because Brett Brown had Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid, and he even said in an interview, like, I didn't utilize or bring that real dog out in him. Like, he didn't maximize them to the potential that they should be at. Like, how is Ben Simmons, what is this, his third or fourth year?
Third year.
And he's still not shooting threes?
You think that's a big problem?
Yeah, because that's another part of his game that he needs if you're a so-called point guard.
So you think that in coaching that development comes with it too?
Yes.
And then, so how does Elton Brand fall into this? We like you said, we agreed in the beginning of the season that this roster looked good. Don't you think that falls more on Brett Brown than it does on the GM?
Elton Brand was giving the contracts, no? You know, if you're giving the contracts and you're saying, hey, Brett Brown, I need you to get to the conference finals with this, you gave out the wrong kind of contracts.
Do you, and this is to kind of fill in a point that I want to mention later, do you feel like that this team is made for a Joel Embiid? Do you think that's made for a Ben Simmons, or do you think it was made for that duo?
I can't really say it was made for the duo, because if it was, you would have way more shooters. You would have kept JJ, you'd have kept Bellinelli, you'd have kept Saric.
Who do you think's game fits more of those two players, Al Horford and Tobias Harris, when it comes to complementing Ben Simmons or Joel Embiid?
I would say it plays better for Ben Simmons, only because like Tobias is usually on the wing. You know, he's gonna do a move off the wing. Really, he's kind of like an off-ball scorer. Al Horford's just out there to stretch the floor, and they do like a lot of pick and rolls and pick and pops for him. It's not really built for Joel, because if it was built for Joel, you would surround him with like 3 shooters, instead of one off-ball player, Tobias Harris, and another off-ball big man like Al Horford.
I feel it. And then Aaron, how do you feel about this series? What do you feel like really, not only the injuries, but did you see anything else have played into them getting swept?
Nah, I didn't see him getting swept. Like I said, Joel Embiid's good enough to get himself a game, in my opinion. I don't know if I said it in the previous pod or 2 pods or 3 pods ago, but Brett Brown, I mean, it's kind of almost like general consensus that dude's overstayed his welcome. He should have been gone last year, in my opinion, but now he's definitely gone. And then after this, you definitely have to reevaluate Elton Brand's position because...
Wow, you too.
Oh, yeah, definitely, dude. So even coming into this team, even coming into this season, the team looked really good on paper, and then they started playing, and everyone could see, even if you didn't know basketball, you could see that they did not have that offense figured out whatsoever. Whatever problems they had with Ben and Joel, Al Horford just added on top of that, and they actually took a step back in shooting with the losses of JJ and Jimmy Butler. Another thing is, from the team 2 years ago, you took 3 steps back. And then last year, you were basically a shot away from almost going to Eastern Conference Finals, you know what I mean? To getting swept in the first round.
Swept.
Even if you don't have Ben Simmons, I get that's a huge loss, but it's no excuse to get a sweep. At the end of the day, like Brett Brown, he's gone. He's gone. You know what I mean?
He needs to be.
He's like proven that he's just inept at coaching and making any type of adaptations, whatnot. Elton Brand is the one who put those people in those places. He's the one that basically sold their future for the now with trading all those assets for the Jimmy Butler trade, and basically it was a rental for half a year, and then not re-signing him, letting go of JJ, cashing out Tobias, and then cashing out Al Horford. Those contracts alone, and then getting into the management things where there are reports saying that Brett Brown basically didn't want Jimmy Butler back because he didn't want to deal with Jimmy Butler being a quote-unquote diva. It's crazy. It's insane. And then the whole
distraction,
the whole getting Ben to not shoot thing, the whole management, how you guys know, man. It seemed like there's always been some type of rumor about Ben and Joel not being on the same page literally their entire tenure. And, like, it's never really been fully addressed. Like, it's been addressed where they're like, no, like, we're doing whatever we got to do to win. We're here, blah, blah, blah. It's like, dude, if you're a coach, you got to make sure your two superstars are bought in, even if they don't like each other.
That kind of shows, like, how insecure Brett Brown was as a coach.
Because Jimmy Butler, he would go in there and he would legit challenge Brett Brown's schemes. He'd be like, no, like, I need to be here. He needs to be here, blah, blah, blah. TJ needs a bigger role. This is like, you can even go on the JJ Redick podcast. I forget the name of it. But he has an interview with Jimmy Butler, and they break down a bunch of stuff like this.
Oh, yeah.
So when it comes to this series itself, I'm with you guys when it comes to the Elton Brand thing. I just don't think that – I think coming into the season, he felt good about it. So that's why I don't feel like he should be that much punished based off of, like, what the expectations were in the beginning. So he gives this guy the tools, and then, like, he does what he can with these tools, right? So this is the guy that you're describing in Brett Brown, who's all these terrible things where he's not developing anybody. He's not putting people in the right position, such as, or how you were saying with Jimmy Butler. And then even this way, with the new toys that they gave him, Al Horford and Tobias Harris didn't even play well throughout this entire series.
No.
And their roles got bigger
Yep.
as this series got, like, deeper.
Right.
So, in my opinion, with the people that they brought back, with the, like, other inside information that comes from, Jimmy Butler slighted Ben Simmons. Joel Embiid liked Jimmy Butler a lot. They had a pretty cool relationship.
Right.
After last year, they should have fired Brett Brown, but they kept him. Don't understand why. But they kept him. And then they also signed people that were more appealing for Ben Simmons. The whole roster looked really good, and you can do what you can with a Joel Embiid, you know what I mean? Going into the season, in theory, it looked really good. It just didn't work out. They only played well at home. They never played well going somewhere else, and then now you're on a neutral site. That didn't really work out for you either. Mm-hmm. In the last game, they shot 26% from three. So I understand where you guys are talking about there's like a lack of shooting. But again, I feel like if they were building it around an Embiid, they wouldn't have signed Al Horford. They would have given him another person or another thing to like utilize a pick and roll option instead of power forward and Tobias Harris. So 76ers fell because they lost the wrong dude. If they lost Ben Simmons, if they lost Joel Embiid, they would have won at least 1 or 2 games. But unfortunately, they lost Ben Simmons, the person that they were initially building about.
I feel like it's very well documented about even when this team was together, everyone looked at it as like an on-paper team because they knew how was this offense going to work. We were talking about it off air, how Al Horford looks like a perfect addition, but dude, within the first week, they showed that that contract is insane. That dude is way too old. He does not fit. And they just committed to all the wrong dudes.
We're actually going to be focusing on them pretty soon here. They were kicked out of the playoffs, so now we're going to go ahead and do a deep dive and figure out why these guys weren't doing too well. So we're going to go ahead and listen over this this little segment that we just did. Hopefully we can make a couple of key points and fix those points so that we can get the Sixers into the next round.
Right.
The Trailblazers are looking tired. I just want to skim over this. You already know what the Lakers and Portland Trailblazers are about. Pretty similar. They both kind of fill in each other's weaknesses, making it a really equal type of matchup, in my opinion. The Blazers, from game 1 of this series and all of their 10 games that they've been playing in the Orlando, so the bubble, they've been within 5 points in the last 5 minutes. So they've been struggling. They've been going hard throughout the whole entire game, and then even in the last 5 minutes, they spend all their energy. So for me, I feel like the Blazers have been looking tired. It was a big point to point out in this last game that happened. What we're expecting from Anthony Davis is still not happening. There was a moment in there where he had 4 straight scores in the middle of the third. He finished with 20 points, but he needed 20 shots to do that. He's also 6 for 29 from mid-range in the series. Yeah. So you also have LeBron James, who was being the LeBron James that I feel like we were asking for, which was to drop 35 plus, be the 35 plus 8 and 8. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Get that, and then you'll win all these games. You need Anthony Davis to bring you over like the edge, but again, in my opinion, I feel like you need LeBron James to be a shooter from the outside. So a cool thing that I noticed in that game, at least the last game, was that when James was off the floor, they had a +6 differential, which is a huge thing. And now I understand why Lakers fans love Caruso so much. It can happen sometimes where the guy pops off, but what do you guys have to say after the last game?
Man, I was just trying to look up anything right now about Damian Lillard because I wanted a little update on his finger. I just want to know if that's actually troubling and whatnot. I don't think it really should. It's his left hand.
No, because this is offhand, correct?
Yeah, but still, you know what I mean?
Something to be cautious about.
Yeah. Exactly, especially with people on the Lakers, you know what I mean? The attention to detail because they have a bunch of savvy vets, especially with Rondo because Rondo was playing – damn, dude, I don't want to get the story wrong, but he was playing point guard X in the playoffs when he was back in Boston. And the same thing happened to point guard X. He, I think, he like dislocated his pinky or something on his offhand. And so Rondo would always shade him that way to make sure the man's had to dribble in his uncomfortable hand. And then the dude breaking down the story, Rondo was saying that just makes him actually think instead of having to come natural habit. You know what I mean?
Right.
And that could be a factor. I doubt it, but
I don't doubt that at all because Rondo's insane. He's always been a weird person inside of locker rooms, and not only that, but he's the smartest motherfucker probably on the floor each night, including LeBron James when it comes to like playmaking and stuff.
I agree. I was literally about to say it. Like even like LeBron's probably a close second, but I think Rondo is probably still the smartest motherfucker in the game right now. Mm-hmm. Chris Paul's not sure. Like they're
top 3.
They're in a league of their own, dude.
See, if you notice the difference in size, where they have that natural talent, that's where the extra playmaking or what we're speaking of basketball IQ comes from. That makes them into the great players that they are. LeBron James is just a freak.
Dude, he's like a freak with their minds. You know what I mean? It's the best of both worlds.
So you guys still feel pretty good about these Lakers, all right? They gotta continue to have that interior presence and they're hustling for the ball. I've been noticing in these playoffs that the tip outs where everybody's trying to get a rebound. Just hit it to your next player. I've been seeing a lot of that, and they're becoming very successful.
And Anthony Davis are like key for that.
They're scrappy. Yeah, they can get them. So keep the interior presence, and then if they miss shots, I know this is kind of simple to say to make or miss league. That's what everybody says, but these guys, like, as long as they're hitting at least 35% of their threes,
Right.
they'll be okay.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of had an expectation going into this year. So it's kind of proven true that it was going to be more about LeBron taking over and dictating the wins than Anthony Davis asserting himself. Even
That's
though
what we were
Anthony
hoping,
Davis
right?
has had a good, like, decent series.
But that's what we've been hoping, right? Like,
Exactly.
but it hasn't really happened.
We've been
Yeah.
exactly. And how long have we been hoping?
And nobody, I'm gonna be honest, maybe LeBron in a little bit, but he already had like a 5-6 point lead in this last game. They have no closer.
Yeah,
It's like
it's him.
it's like LeBron James is supposed to be the closer, but he's like
He's
doesn't let the
passive,
guys
yeah.
go.
Yeah.
And but the thing is that LeBron James will take over only in the points where it's like, okay, we got a 5 point lead in like the last minute and a half. Let me do my thing now. So it's a good series. It's really fun to watch.
Yeah.
There's different things to keep in mind. Everybody's injured on the Trailblazers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Jack
Nurkic
Collins
is fucking tired, even though he's not injured. Zach Collins is a big
just
loss.
went out.
Crazy.
And then another thing, this is the last. Like, obviously, the Lakers have to play this really seriously, but you know they're not going 100%. LeBron's not locked in. He has to dig deep.
Mhm.
But this is like, this was supposed to be an easy series.
Yeah.
Like, not supposed to
It
be.
was supposed to be, but now
Yeah,
that they're playing the Trailblazers.
Exactly. And they have to get real serious next.
So we've
'Cause
already
who they have
noticed
next?
it.
Probably Houston coming up, right? More than likely.
More than
More than
likely, yes.
likely.
Well, I want to expand on that next one. But yes, no, I definitely agree with you. They're gonna expend a lot of energy, and if you think about it,
Yep.
look at the Portland Trailblazers coming into this series, expending a lot of energy. It might cost them some games going
Yep.
forward. So
Right.
keep an eye on that.
It's also good that the Clippers are also kind of struggling as well, though.
Yeah,
Not that the Lakers are like peeking over the
Helps
shoulders, but
out.
you know they kind of are.
the
I
Mavs.
think they are just a little bit.
I
Yeah,
think
dude, they play the winner of Houston OKC next.
if Paul George keeps performing the same, they have a chance to win the series with the Mavericks.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Pandemic P.
Yeah, no, yeah, for real, the Mavericks can genuinely win that series.
exactly. Yep.
And
If,
I feel like
if
I
Paul
believe
George
they
keeps
feel
performing
like that.
All right, so let's get into the next one. I would love to talk to Lakers all day, of course, but let's get into the
Yeah.
Oklahoma City and Houston Rockets. Gifton, you watch these games. I know you do.
I did.
Explain how this guy, James Harden's getting locked up by Lujan Stort from ASU. Shout out. Alma mater, baby. Go Sun Devils. He's guarding the Sun Devil, too.
Yeah, that's crazy.
They got that. They got
Damn,
that
I didn't
linkage.
think of that.
Real quick, by the time Dort blocked Harden's driving layup to start overtime, he had already held the Rockets guard to 3 of 14 shooting in that last game.
Right.
So that was a big takeaway I had. Also, Houston shot 1 of 9 from the floor in OT. They gave up the last little bit of that last bit where Chris Paul was like coordinating everything and dominating basically, and then he gave it to Shai Gilgeous
In
to
the corner,
gain all
it was
that
beautiful.
to gain all that confidence.
Beautiful.
I'm gonna tell you this much: the Rockets might have lost this series, but I'm gonna stick with my pick. Still got the Rockets, but with that right there,
Wait, what?
the Rockets
Wait, you think they lost the series?
with that look that they gave him, all that confidence and how they beat him, and they've already had this. So the Oklahoma City Thunder are like the best team when it comes
Oh,
to
I
like
get
the
what you're
last
saying.
closing minutes.
I get what you're saying.
So if the thing is, for me, what's key for the Rockets is they need to continue to press and just have as much points as they can,
need to
because
continue to close out every game.
when it comes to playing half-court basketball, it's going to be over. And
Yeah.
those guys will chip and chip and chip once
Definitely.
it gets serious. So
Definitely.
they were rolling.
Mm-hmm.
Now this team knows that they can beat this small lineup. It's the first time they beat that small lineup. So that's why I'm worried, but I'm still sticking with the Rockets, baby.
I don't want to say that I'm worried. Lou Dort was definitely just a key piece in that game, shutting down James Harden and only keeping him for, what'd you say, 3 of 14 shooting?
3 of 14 in just game 3.
Right. That's fucking terrible for James. But I mean, shout out Lou Dort. He did that. I'm not really worried, but I know if we lose game 4 by 20 or we get like blown out, then I'm worried. Because that means that Chris Paul like literally figured out how to just shut everybody down,
And he
how to
rallied
hold
the
James
troops.
Harden to always be 3 of 14, how to contain Austin Rivers, how to stop Eric Gordon out on the wing. You know what I'm saying? And then PJ, you just got to bang him up, really, because it seems like every time PJ's on the bench, something's always hurting.
He got nerve damage.
Yeah.
What did you see in this game that was different from the other games?
It was more defense. Like, Dennis Schroeder was defensively locked in. Chris Paul was more he was calling out everything, offense and defense. Gallinari was also a good defender too.
Gallo.
And then Gallo was also hitting his shots down the end. But really, it just came down to Chris Paul, like you had said, just pulling out that master play at the last second.
They kept up with them. They had some good plays. They had some good moments. But in the end, what happened was they had the lead. The
Yeah.
Houston Rockets did. And that's why I'm really worried about. They lost the lead in that type of manner where when it really buckled down, this team was able to chip away. So if they don't have that crazy lead that they had in those first two games, this can come down to the wire. And even James Harden said, we definitely let that one get away.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, they did.
we'll see how it goes going forward.
Because it shouldn't have went to overtime, really.
I broke my back. Spinal.
And that's all you got to say.
Nah, I mean, you guys kind of hit it, especially Gibson hit the nail right on the head. You know what I mean?
They got
It's
some
all
film
about
on them.
momentum. I feel like that's what it is right now because D'Antoni teams, that's usually like if it's not quote unquote exhaustion and whatnot and the legs giving out and being a jump shooting team, it's momentum.
I think
And-
you picked the Thunder.
Yeah, I picked the Thunder. Yeah, it's all about momentum, and the Rockets basically, other than the Chris Paul injury, the last 2 years they've gone out because the momentum switched on them. They were leading the series both times, and then either a call or a clutch basket didn't go their way, and they just fell apart. Let's see if that's the case, because these Rockets under D'Antoni kind of have a track record for that, going back to
2017.
yeah, and even before that, a couple years ago, yeah. Dude, the San Antonio series, there we go. That's what I was thinking of when freaking Harden just imploded, basically.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So they have that history.
Yeah,
History
definitely.
repeats itself.
That's a big thing to look out for, and I still have the Thunder.
That's why I'm worried. They just need to have the fat-ass lead. Just blow them out the whole time.
Yeah.
Don't get close.
Yeah.
Because then it's a flip of a coin, and it's a weighted coin. It's a little bit more towards the Thunder.
And they be missing. How do you go 0 for 27 threes in a row, dude?
Yeah.
That's still insane.
And then,
A long ass time
if
ago.
you do go to
They
OT,
still haunted.
if you do go to OT, you can't shoot 1 for 9.
oh
Like,
yeah,
you gotta
definitely.
Yeah, no.
come on.
I felt like as soon as it went to OT, the Rockets were like, "Damn."
You live and
yeah,
die
they
by
were
it.
gassed.
You
Because
live
then
and die
James
by it.
Harden fouled out, so like nobody else could really get a bucket like that.
Austin Rivers like, "I got you, coach."
For the whole game, the Houston Rockets were 15 of 50 from deep. Mike D'Antoni.
God damn.
We were talking about Russell Westbrook. I said that he was the main part of it. I thought he was going to be back already for Game 3. Hopefully he can come back for Game 4. But D'Antoni was asked after the game whether Westbrook might be ready to return for Game 4. He said, "I don't know yet. I'm sure he's going to test it. He's working every day, getting a little better. So we'll see. Today, I have no clue." It's not a good sign.
No, but
Not a
if
good
I'm
sign.
D'Antoni, I'm going to roll the dice with Game 4 and just sit him out. And then if they lose, bring him back for Game 5.
Bring him back to Game 5.
Yeah, I think exactly. If I'm
Because that's D'Antoni, bro.
I'm only bringing Russ back if it's like a winner
Our back
goes
is
home.
against the wall.
Yeah,
and We're
exactly.
damn near about to be out.
Because
So hold him down. Hold
yeah,
it down.
you should still have enough confidence in this team to take out the Thunder, even if it's a little dicey. And you want Russ to be as healthy as he possibly can for
Exactly.
the Lakers, because against the Lakers, he's the X factor, and we all know that.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. I want to get into the NBA draft now. We were wanting to talk about it last time, but it was so long that it didn't really work out. So we're speaking about the lottery. Probably like the first 3 picks. That's all I'll mention. So I'll just go off the top 3. That's the most exciting one. If you want to go into the next couple of picks, I'll mention like 5 different players that are going to be in that top 5 possible consideration, especially, thinking about what type of teams you're going to be picking. But, of course, let's start it off with the first pick in the, 2020, right? 2020 NBA draft. I'm just getting my ears a little mixed up. Anthony Edwards is a top choice for the first pick of the Timberwolves. Do you guys agree, or do you guys feel like it'd probably be LaMelo? Because LaMelo is definitely will be one of the top choices. You have James Wiseman, but then you have like a
They don't need a center.
they don't need a
Yeah.
center, and then they have it's like a double-headed dragon maybe.
Oh,
Tim
yeah.
Duncan,
David Robinson.
David Robinson type shit.
But
That
yeah,
shit
nah,
ain't
I-
gonna work.
But,
What, yeah, let's start with Aaron. What do you feel like? Which one's the better pick?
I don't know. Were we talking about it off air when I was telling you guys? I think Anthony Edwards is going to be the perfect pick for the Timberwolves just because they have D'Lo and Anthony Edwards. Just his stature and his body, he's like his body frame and stuff like that. He
Because what
projects.
is he, like 6'6"?
I think so, like that. And he's kind of brawly, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
He projects to be like. I feel like you can get that man to play good defense. You know what I mean? And he's gonna be a perfect combo guard next to D'Lo, where you can stagger them. He can run the offense like when D'Lo's not in, and vice versa. I feel like if they go with LaMelo, it's a big gamble on if he wants to play off the ball, if he even wants to buy in defensively, if he wants to be in Minnesota.
Right, I was
You have
just
to
about
buy
to
in
say
with
that.
LeVar. Yeah,
Yep.
so there's a whole package with that. But I think the way the draft is going to go, I think they go Anthony Edwards, Warriors go James Wiseman.
Okay, so let's go. So let's put the extra baggage aside. You personally, what would you want to do? Would you go for the gamble of LaMelo Ball, or would you go for Anthony Edwards, a guy who, has more of a type of structure, how we were saying, and he's a good prospect, but you know how I know it's kind of more of an analogy, but when you go to NFL prospects for a quarterback, 6'5", big arm, probably like he could take hits, and now that's not the prototypical quarterback. Do you want a prototypical type of person in Anthony Edwards, or one that's more of a gamble when it comes to LaMelo Ball, a shooter, ball handler, spices it up, playmaker type shit?
I just don't think LaMelo fits there in general. LaMelo needs to go to a team where he's going to be the definitive point guard / main facilitator.
And that's not there.
No. And then, like LaMelo, he also has the size to be a good defender and stuff like that, but I don't think he thinks like that. I don't think he's ever thought like that. Like Lonzo,
They've always
you know what I
been
mean?
so
Yeah,
offensive
they just share the same initials, and that's about it. Other than that, like I feel like LaMelo's all offense, no defense.
So it was just a random thing or whatever, but on the Boston's Reddit page, somebody had said, do you think that the Celtics would put together a trade package of Gordon Hayward, a pick, and somebody else to try and get the second pick so that they can draft James Wiseman? But I don't really see Danny Ainge giving up anybody because they're all successful, and I feel like they're all successful under the Brad Stevens system.
Can you trade Gordon Hayward? He has a player option that he's more likely going to opt into because it's like 30-something million.
It was just what I had seen at Reddit.
So let me get into that real quick. I'll look that up.
Yeah.
With the Gordon Hayward contract.
Uh-huh.
But when it comes to Gordon Hayward, who wants him?
That's what I was saying. So I was like,
that-
although the Celtics do need a center, they don't really have anything interesting besides Jason Tatum, and they're not going to do that. So my thing was, if I was the Warriors, I would either try and draft somebody that fits me, like if they take James Wiseman just on some fucking shit, or they take, what's his name, out of Daytona, Obi Toppin.
Obi Toppin.
Obi Toppin. I know.
Obi. They're supposed to be the best fits for the Warriors.
Yeah,
based
that's
off
what I
their
keep
pick.
seeing. So I mean, either pick one of them two or hold out for a better offer.
Hold out for a better offer.
Yeah.
There's another thing for the Warriors. Let's just say from the Warriors side. Let's just not approach it from the Boston side.
Okay.
With potential of what the Warriors have, because the Warriors already have these things.
Exactly.
Boston needs to wow them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So with the Warriors, what they can do is,
The return was Andrew Wiggins.
yeah, they can
Who the
take.
fuck wants Andrew Wiggins?
Oh, hold up.
I'm
So
not pulling up.
they're gonna take the pick that they have,
Right.
possibly the other 2021 Minnesota first rounder pick, and then Wiggins' contract, and then get a max level player. So why go for Gordon Hayward, a guy who's before he got the max contract, he got the injury.
Mm.
I mean, well, after the max contract,
Yeah.
you know what I mean. So he's
Yeah.
not the same player that he was before. Maybe he'll turn
Yeah.
into like a Paul George type thing where
A
he has
pandemic?
it.
He had a good year.
Not
this
just
year.
that, not just that. Put that to the side. But if you have that guy that comes back from an injury and still is able to produce the same way,
Yeah.
then it's like, okay, like that's interesting. But why not go for a guy who's not damaged goods?
Yeah. Like I said, I'd rather just take the pick or just hold out for something better.
He had a good year this year. I don't think they're giving up Gordon Hayward. I think they'll resign him. Like he's more likely going to opt in because he's making bank.
Yeah,
And
he's
then-
not gonna
Yeah,
leave.
no, and I think they resign him on a way smaller deal. But dude, 52 games. He had basically 18 points. He shot 50% from the field, basically 7 rebounds, 4 assists, 38% from 3.
So he was number 2, and then he got shifted down to number 3 because of Jaylen Brown.
Yeah.
So he's able to do that. I think that's more valuable than having a max player that you have to shift and
4 threes.
Figure out what to do with them, like they did with the Kyrie Irving.
But it's also he just has a different role now. He's not even like they don't look at him to score as much. He's just mainly like
he's their glue.
He's their basically, and he's their secondary facilitator. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He initiates the offense a lot.
So we're all in agreement, though, that when it comes to Gordon Hayward, do you picture the Warriors trading for Gordon Hayward? I don't.
No.
Nah.
Okay. So I think that Andrew Wiggins and him, I would pick Gordon Hayward, but they're practically the same player.
Yeah.
In my opinion, maybe Gordon Hayward's of
course
better.
That's a slight to Gordon Hayward. He's better.
A better
he's
shooter
better.
He's a lot better than Andrew Wiggins. Andrew Wiggins is more athletic.
Yeah.
If I'm picking a player for my team, especially when I already have 2 people in front of them, their same impact, I feel like it's around the same. I think Gordon Hayward's better, but their production is probably the same. You can agree. You can disagree.
Oh, production rate.
Production's crazy because I don't think Andrew Wiggins is shooting 38% from 3.
Right, because that's the thing. We didn't really get a chance to see Andrew Wiggins
50% from the field. You know what I mean? But no, I
shooting
guess
better than 30%. Andrew Wiggins
better than 30%.
38% on 4 threes a game. Do you think Andrew Wiggins?
Oh, 38. I thought you said 30.
No, 38. And 50%
38's a lot.
50% from the field on 18 points, 7 rebounds, and 4 assists. Andrew Wiggins gives you like 16, 2, and 2. Or
so
18,
my guy,
2, and 2.
Andrew Wiggins from the 3-point, he shoots 34%.
On like 2 a game?
On 5 a game.
Oh, wow. That's not bad.
5.
He don't defend, he don't pass either.
I still got Gordon Hayward over.
Yeah, Gordon Hayward.
Hey man, I'd rather get a max level player that's uninjured. So we'll see what's good. I hope they trade because having the Warriors in the league, being at the top, doing what they do, that's a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah.
Get another dude who can spread the floor and efficiently score. All right, so on number 3, we got. In my opinion, it's the Hornets, the Charlotte Hornets.
Yeah. That's big for them, dude.
Charlotte Hornets.
They've been constantly picking like 7+ for a handful of years because Kemba was so good that he didn't let them tank.
If the goes the same, or what is projected, which is Anthony Edwards, let's just do it our own draft. Anthony Edwards, and then let's just say James Wiseman. Then you got LaMelo Ball at 3, which is on the Hornets.
That's a perfect fit for him.
You think so?
Yeah.
This guy, LeVar Ball, has been saying that all of his sons are better than Michael Jordan, who's the owner of this team.
He's just talking, man. That's it.
So you think Michael Jordan's signing off?
You said what?
You think Michael Jordan's going to sign off on this pick?
Yeah.
The Hornets are in position to like choose. I think they're still on the, especially with this draft's kind of weak after the 3rd pick because after the 4th pick, I should say that's where it kind of breaks.
Anybody is.
But they're not in a position to like, oh, well, he fits best, blah, blah, blah. I think they just have to go for whoever's the most talented right now.
And then him and Devontae Graham wouldn't be a bad duo.
Yeah, it wouldn't be that bad.
Yeah.
And then they also have Terry Rozier, but Terry Rozier is not good enough to pass up on a number 3 pick. You know what I mean?
Terry Rozier.
So I think Obi Toppin would be cool, but I don't have enough knowledge on that guy to know how impactful he is. You know what I mean? So
and then they have PJ Washington already.
PJ Washington and the other Bridges.
Yeah.
Miles
Bridges.
Yeah, I always get them mixed up. But yeah, at this point, if I'm the Hornets, just draft the best available.
Yeah.
Worry about the fit later.
And then watch him hit the 4-point shot once they institute it. Let's get into the Boston and Toronto series. So we were mentioning beforehand, and we talked a little bit about both teams already now. But Toronto swept the Nets. Boston swept the 76ers. We got Boston and Toronto. I'm going to start this one off. I already have everything kind of written down here. I have Toronto in 6. The reason why I have Toronto in 6 is because they got a huge boost in confidence when they faced the Nets. They just pretty much blew them out. Mm-hmm. So they're coming pretty big-headed into the next one. They have all the right personnel. They're deeper than the Celtics. They have a championship pedigree.
Nick Nurse just won Coach of the Year.
Nick Nurse getting
Shout
called
out
it.
Nick Nurse.
Damn, I said that.
No, I'm right.
I know that. It's a positive. Damn, I said that. But yeah, so you got the Nick Nurse pick. I think I picked Mike Budenholzer, but
You guys picked Mike Booth. You guys was like,
Booden.
you shitting on me.
I don't know about
Nah,
shit.
we weren't shitting on you. We just said, like, I understand. Like, I understand
one
them giving
works.
the Budenholzer.
I think historic numbers proves the otherwise, but I guess the story helped in that other one. Toronto has chemistry better than the Celtics, in my opinion, and also Pascal Siakam.
Yeah.
His
he's gonna be the
size,
X factor.
his way of doing things. He will put himself on the mat the same way Damian Lillard. Now, it's not going to be with points, but it's going to be with production and defensive end stops. So Pascal Siakam, not only my X factor, but also he's gonna make himself known. He's gonna be like, what's good?
Right.
They have a better defense, in my opinion. They have the scores that can get it done in crunch time. Lowry does have an ankle sprain that happened today in the first quarter, but
Did he fall twice, or was that clip just weird? Because you guys seen it on sideline sources, right?
Yeah.
I think it was just weird.
Did he fall twice, or?
I don't know. I just seen reports that that dude messed up the arch of his foot.
Ooh.
So that's
No,
crazy.
he'll be back.
I hope.
Oof.
He's gonna take charges.
See, that's for this next man up. You gotta rely on Norman Powell.
All right,
Like I've been saying.
How many games? Who's your X factor and why?
Toronto 7. X factor. I'm gonna say it again. Norman Powell. Like he kind of proved.
He had a good game today.
Yeah, he had a good game today, and then he kind of proved today, coming off the bench in the first round against Brooklyn, that he can hold his own. Now it really matters playing Boston, because Boston has been clicked up, and they're also big-headed because they just came off sweeping Philly. So this one's going to be a battle of the Eagles. I feel like this is going to be a real grit and grime game. Like real grit. Like gritty. Like,
That's what
like
the Sixers
ugly
do.
nails
That's
scratching
what the Raptors
against
do.
the wood gritty.
Raptors in 7.
Shove 'em.
How about you,
Yeah,
Aaron?
I'm gonna go Raptors in 6. We were just talking about it, but I think the Gordon Hayward sprained ankle, it's gonna be big. To get big miss,
Yeah.
especially against a tight defense like that. You're gonna need all the ball handling and creativity you can.
Mm-hmm.
These Raptors, man, what did we call? We called them just a well-oiled machine,
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
and that's just what they are. They're just
Chemistry.
gonna blitzkrieg the Celtics, and I think they're gonna nullify Jason Tatum. And I feel like once that happens, like Boston's whole offense is just gonna kind of cave in on itself, implode. So yeah, I got Raps in 6.
They also
feel
have more. My bad. They also have more big man production. With Serge
Way
and
more
Marcus
big man
All.
production.
So it's like
Bigger size.
That's
you know
the
what I'm
probably
saying?
best.
They can do inside outside
like
too.
they're gonna
Both of 'em.
bully the fuck out of Dice.
That's probably the best 1-2 center punch in the league. For
Goddamn,
sure.
son, slow down.
I feel it though. So 6 games from Aaron. X factor player.
X Factor player. I am gonna go Killer Kyle Lowry. That man
Kyle
about to
Lowry.
show
Killer
out.
Kyle Lowry.
Did you
It's
pick
crazy
Norman
how
Powell?
much
I picked Norman Powell
disrespect he
again.
had
Yes.
for so long. I disrespect that man, but he
Man,
been putting on.
We all
Come on,
did.
bro. He was like playoff P type shit.
Oh,
30,
yeah, that's
6,
That's what I said. I
30,
disrespect that man.
7.
But
It's like, bro,
literally
come on.
since last year, he's proved that he kind of deserved that ring, and he's a champion.
Oh no, he definitely deserved the ring. He's always
Yep.
been a great player. It's just the fact that, man, sometimes you could disappear.
Yep.
Same thing with playoff P. Playoff P. All right, so let's switch it up to some football. We got a lot of basketball into there, but
Yeah, that's the most prominent sport. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
well, right now it's crazy. And then there's like really no football, baseball. There's just not really a lot of storylines, but we make it happen. So for football, man, what's going on with Earl Thomas? So first, he had that thing with Pete Carroll. He got a leg injury, and then he gets carted off the field and flips off Pete Carroll. I kind of puts a little dent into your character, even though you understand a little bit. You give him the benefit of the doubt right there, because it's like, we understand that you guys are going through trade talks. We understand that there's a situation going on between the two where it might not be transparent. Something didn't get done, but he left. Went to the Ravens. After a year with the Ravens, actually had an instance after a Browns game with the nose tackle of Brandon Williams. So he already had a confrontation with another teammate beforehand. And then not only that, during the offseason, he has this thing with his baby mama where him and his brother are going out there having some
Mandingo
good old
parties.
Time.
Ain't
They
no
haven't
party
said-
like a Mandingo party, cuz.
It's good shit. So This guy right now,
I heard
after
all
all
those
this shit that's been
wops.
happening, this guy comes into this season, and during I think it's like training camp basically right now.
Pretty much.
Him and his teammate Chuck Clark, they get into a fight. There's a punch that he threw
Oh,
at
that's
him.
fucked up. They named the dude who he punched.
Yeah, bro, Chuck Clark.
That's
Chuck
fucked
Clark.
up.
So this is what he had to say about it. It was a mental error on my part, a busted coverage that I tried to explain calmly, and then it met with built-up aggression, turned it into me getting into it with the teammate. Damn, you were calmly doing it, and then it went into you just punching him out.
I mean, at least he told the truth. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Doesn't sound like he told the truth.
he admitted he was wrong.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with saying that you're wrong.
Yeah.
What I am trying to say, though, is that
What is
he was
that?
given a couple chances already.
Sources close to the scene said, Earl Thomas said, "It's Pop, don't forget to smoke."
He's a 7-time Pro Bowl safety. He signed a 4-year contract worth $55 million, and then was let go by the Ravens. Excuse me. So he was let go by the Ravens because there was a clause in his contract. Because in the beginning, everybody was expecting them to having to cut him and then take like a $10 million dead salary cap hit. Didn't end up working out that way. They found something in his contract that voided out that guaranteed money,
Right.
and ended up dropping him from the team, and they don't have to pay that anymore. He's going to file for grievance reportedly, but overall, Earl Thomas is not a Raven anymore. Does this hurt the Ravens' chances, or are they a well-oiled machine such as, you know, these Toronto Raptors? Because they're a team full of veterans, a team full of talent. Do you guys expect this to be a bad thing on them?
He's a big loss. They are a well-oiled machine. And he's a big loss. I feel hopefully it's just next man up and they can replace at least 75 to 80% of his production. But man, dude, he's just had mishap after mishap over the past 18 months, 2 years. And then all I can think of now is that dude getting stiff-armed and getting turned around. But it was Derrick Henry, wasn't it? Yeah. Derrick Henry literally said, "Get off me, little boy,"
There was
just tossed him.
There was a tweet, and it goes, the Titans are really looking at Earl Thomas the third for a right tackle so that he can make blocks for Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
He was a good blocker for Derrick Henry in the first place. That shit was funny.
Dude, it's insane because this guy, he was one of the spearheads of the Legion of Boom, and now he's at a crossroads. You know what I mean? Now we're gonna see where he goes.
There is a winner though, the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah.
They're in the lead to get Earl Thomas. Gibson, how you feel about that for the
Come
Cowboys?
get me.
It seems like Jerry has just been getting what he's been wanting lately. Like with all the veterans he's been signing, and even now that they're front runner to get Earl Thomas, I kind of expect the Cowboys to have a way better season this year if they do sign Earl Thomas.
All right, and you guys ready to get into some quick hits?
The quick hits.
And get to this ad-libs. Yep.
Quick hits.
All right, take it from the top up.
All right, let's start it off with the quick hits here. We have Dwayne Haskins Jr. He used to weigh 240 pounds, and now he's 218 pounds. He spoke with veteran quarterbacks.
He was
such
that
as,
fucking big?
He's a big-ass dude, man. He's really tall. Then you have him speaking with Deshaun Watson and Cam Newton.
Yep.
Bro, how do you guys feel about Dwayne Haskins coming into this league? Do you see 5 wins under his belt?
That's good. But another name you left out is Alex Smith is going to be in training camp with him.
I don't see him playing at all.
No,
I'm
I'm not
sorry.
talking about that. But that's
wow.
a good mind to have behind you.
Beautiful.
That's a great mind.
I am
because
thinking about
Alex Smith came from the Andy Reid system, and who unlocks quarterbacks?
So you think he's going to have a better year?
Definitely.
He had 3 wins last year, getting over under 5.
I give him 4.
so under 5. All right, how about you?
Shit, dude, I kind of wanted to give him 4 too. I'll
I
give him 5.
4.
You give him 5? See, that's the thing, man. You can't give him 5.
I still
I'm
don't
not
really
giving
believe in
5.
him like
I'm not
that.
giving him 5.
Like,
All
it's
right.
cool. He has Alex Smith this year, like you said, a great mind to have behind him. But I mean, I still
My number's at 3.5.
It's fucking Washington.
You can't
bro.
do 3.5. You got over under
Washington.
5.
What if they tie? Isn't that 3.5?
Unfortunately,
Yeah, isn't that 3.5?
tying
hold on.
somebody.
He got 2 wins on the Giants. I got him with 5. Damn, I
Danny
can't.
Dimes
I
is
got him
better.
under. I got him under.
But
Poor dude.
I got him under 2. But those are wins over the Eli Giants, not the Danny Dime Giants, man.
No, this is over. Danny Dimes Giants now, even worse. And let me say something real quick. I want him to be like Teddy Bridgewater of the Vikings. Like when Teddy Bridgewater came in and what he did for the Vikings, I want Dwayne Haskins to do that for the Redskins.
Chip on his shoulder and just come out and prove everybody wrong, man.
Dude, the defense can back you up, make the right throws, let the running game do it. You got it.
He has Ron Rivera now, man. Like
Ron Rivera.
That's great.
Teddy Bridgewater on the Vikings. The next quick hit here.
Quick hits.
The quick
And-
hits.
And get to this ad-libs. Yep.
We got Kyler Murray. He added somewhere between 7 and 9 pounds of muscle.
Mm-hmm.
He's the reigning NFL Rookie of the Year.
Mm-hmm.
And he's still among the fast quarterbacks in the NFL. Max at 20 miles per hour. No, 20.09 miles per hour. I got to add the 0.9.
Oh, damn.
0.09, excuse
And
me.
he's got a new offensive toy.
Yep.
Explain how the muscle can help him in this game right now.
He would probably be able to run through tackles better.
Take some hits.
Yeah,
He
take
was
some
getting
hits.
hit a lot.
Especially if especially games like the Seahawks and their defensive line. So I feel like he'd be able to do that.
49ers.
He'd probably be able to. I don't know. I don't think he has like an injury history like that. But I mean, I would imagine that he strengthens his hamstrings, his quads, his calves. You know what I'm saying? So he's
lot of
more
leg work.
durable. More durable during the season. And then D-Hop, they're gonna make some noise.
I think they had 6. They had 5 wins, 5, 10, and 1. Over, under 5 wins.
I'm gonna go over.
I'm going to go under.
I don't know. Over.
Over? Over.
Yeah, I'm gonna go over.
All right, that's it. So that's it for the footballs.
The footballs.
We got baseball here.
Baseball, yeah.
So baseball, we have Kike Hernandez hitting a 3-run blast. That broke a tie after 2 solo shots. Corey Seager and Mookie Betts for the Dodgers hit those two solo shots beforehand. Cody Bellinger, who hit Saturday night's 9th inning walk-off blast, was the next homer in the 6th inning. Will Smith came off the injured list before the game, homered in the 7th. And into 8th inning, Max Muncy powered in a home run as well. To cap it off, the 7th one was by Betts, hitting his 2nd home run of the game. These Dodgers are nice, man.
How do you feel that they're 22-8 right now?
22-8, and not really doing it with a full team
Mm-hmm.
is definitely, man, it was over projected because I didn't expect them to do well with
Really?
the start that they had.
Even with Mookie?
We were playing against the Giants, and it didn't really look too good. Yes, Mookie's the shit,
Mm-hmm.
but he wasn't doing well either.
Right.
And there's this thing with the Dodgers where they'll be fully loaded bases,
Mm-hmm.
and then no outs.
Right.
And guess how many runs pass by?
Tell me.
0.
Oh.
Or somebody goes into a double play and it's just 1 run off of bases loaded, nobody out.
Okay.
So here's the thing, man.
Mm.
They give us opportunities, and we didn't cash them in at first.
Right.
Now we're one of the best hitting runners in scoring position teams in the league. It looks good for the Dodgers.
Okay.
22-8.
Yeah, because you guys are first right now, right? In your division?
First, and we just beat the shit out of the fucking Rockies, swept them.
Right.
And then we have the San Diego Padres, who are
That's gonna be
being pretty lit. We talked about them last podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty tough there.
Yeah.
Pretty tough.
Shout out to Vladimir Guerrero Jr. with the triple hit today.
He's a big boy, man. If he's
a
if
big
he's getting a
boy.
triple, that's a ton.
You ever see him run? It was like it hurts.
Oh my goodness, like the guy from the Cleveland Indians.
Yeah.
When that guy was running, he's a catcher. Shit was funny. You have Mike Trout for the
Trout.
baseball news.
Trout.
He is passing Hall of Famers on the WAR board with his wins above replacement. Basically measures a player by his total production. He's been leading every player that's basically ever played baseball. And now he's doing that with sports memorabilia too. He sold a card, his rookie card, that was signed for $3.9 million.
God damn.
On a card.
3.9 mil?
Dude, can you imagine that shit?
No.
They said that it's like a work of art. Joe Madden was comparing it to like the Mona Lisa, which is insane to think about, that a card, right? That is art.
Right.
A card is worth 3.9 mil. So
I
then
know.
it can legitimately be compared to other things that are worth millions of dollars, right?
That's yeah. You hit it right on the head. That is insane though. He
Nasty.
sold his rookie
I thought
card,
the article would have a picture of the card.
and it didn't.
I thought it did.
Sweet.
And then it had it has like Mike Trout, and it's like in blue handwriting. The previous record was 3.12 million set by Honus Wagner. Of course, everybody knows about the Honus Wagner card, right? Because
Oh, yeah, it's on the tweet.
it's very, very simple, and it doesn't even look real. But that card is fucking 3.9 mil.
That sold for 3.9 mil.
Yes, sir.
Wow.
And not even fans in the stands.
That is man. You can make money off anything.
Let's go, Mike Trout. Be the next our pool host.
Shit.
Crazy, bro. Crazy.
Jose Abreu of the White Sox. He's a first baseman, homered in an MLB tying record of fourth straight at bat. He hit a home run. This was off of the fourth pitcher that was a different pitcher for the Cubs. So he was not facing just one type of pitcher. He was facing different types of pitchers and was still able to get a home run out of each one. Whatever look they gave him, he didn't care. He knocked that shit out. The home run record for like most consecutive home runs over a 3-game stretch is 7. And I think that was also tied. No, Abreu became the 6th player in history to homer 6 times in a 3-game stretch. So the last one was a 450-foot blast, 107 exit velocity as well. The reason why I want to mention this dude is because he's leading the league in RBIs and home runs for the AL side. 11 home runs, 28 RBIs. On the White Sox, I was wanting to pick that team so bad too.
Why is that?
They just have a lot of good talent on the offensive side. I didn't see it with their pitching, but the pitching is actually doing pretty well. So offensively, though, Eloy Jimenez, Tim Anderson, Abreu, Yoan Moncada, a lot of talent that they put the bat onto the ball.
Right.
So that's a real big thing nowadays, especially with the spin rates and stuff. You miss a ball by a centimeter and it's not doing nothing.
Right.
And last but not least, let's go ahead and just bring up Fernando Tatis once again.
Tatis.
Fernando Tatis.
Tatis.
This guy's nice. He's on the Padres. You mentioned him last podcast. Also kind of mentioned the Padres this podcast and what they're able to do. He's committed 18 errors last year. This year, he committed no errors. And that is happening while he's making plays like the one today. Basically, this guy's at maybe mid like on the edge of the grass in a shortstop area. Basically goes all the way into where a left fielder would be playing in and fucking catches the ball, leads up in the air. They're calling him Hernando.
Hernando?
Or is it Hernando or Air Tatis?
That's the Air Tatis.
Air Tatis. And then they have him up in the air like that, and somebody's like, if they put that on a pair of cleats the way that, he caught the ball.
Yeah, that man was moving.
It's pretty nice. He covered, I think it was 146 feet in about 4.1 seconds. So if you divide that, let's see here.
Damn.
So 40-yard dash. So that's 120. Man, I don't know if this is right, but
it's the blonde dreads.
146 feet, 4.1 seconds. It is.
I always say blondes have more fun.
But no, we talked a lot about NBA. A lot going on there. We talked football and basketball.
Yes, sir.
We still wanted to talk about soccer here, though.
Alrighty.
I think Aaron wanted to bring this up a little bit. I just want to kind of set the table up here. A single goal for Bayern Munich, headed in by ex-PSG youth product Kingsley Coman, just before the hour mark. That was enough to give the German powerhouse its 6th European title. Aaron, you watched the game. I know you're a big PSG fan. What happened during the game that really stuck out to you into what played into a role of them losing? And, you spent a lot of money already. What were you looking to do to make your team better for the next time?
It was a good game. It just came down to the better team winning it. Bayern just have more quality players and better depth and whatnot. It was just a chess match, and shit, man. Just that midfield. The PSG midfield they just lacked the creativity today. And then PSG weren't as clinical as they should be. But it happens, man. Mbappé's young, coming back from an injury. Neymar showed that he's still the 3rd best player in the world. Hopefully, they can just address their midfield, get at least 2 defensive midfielders and another box-to-box midfielder, and address their backline issues with their fullbacks. And then shout out to Bayern Munich, man. Like, those dudes were dominant coming back after the restart, dude. Under Hansi Flick, I think he lost his first 2 games in charge and hasn't lost since. I think they've won the last shit, including today. I think it's either 28 of 29 or 29 of 30 at this point. And then basically in Leipzig, where the Champions League was, they went 11-0. So hats off to them, man.
Let's talk about the Champions League tournament format for a little bit. Because of the pandemic, everybody's going through it. I want to ask you, because I read this in Sports Illustrated, that with the quarterfinals being played on one location in every round, being a single-legged tie, does that slightly diminish the achievement, or do you take it for what it actually is, especially with the environment that we're in?
I disagree. I can understand how like purists and whatnot would want to say that, but I disagree. I actually think it raises the stakes because that away goal shit. You know what I mean? Because usually sometimes teams, especially like Atletico Madrid and Simeone and Cholo and whatnot, they just get they get an away goal and they take it back home and literally put 10 players behind the ball and just defend for a whole 90 minutes, and that's not the best you want to see. When it's like win or go home, it just brings the intensity out. So I honestly think it means more, maybe.
It means more.
Yeah, shout out Bayern Munich, man. They're about to dominate for the next couple of years.
I think that's with every sport, though, too, that you're just going to have to figure out what these achievements mean for 10 years from now.
Yeah, dude, everything just,
you'll understand.
Everything's relative with the time and the situation and circumstances surrounding it, you know what I mean?
Of course. I think that's it. We did an extra sport today in soccer, but we started off with some NBA. Kind of got a lot into that one there, a lot of hypotheticals and a lot of, just situations that the NBA is in right now.
Definitely.
It's going really well.
It
a lot of
is.
high-scoring games, and the games that are blowouts, like,
The Raptors dropped 150 today.
Yeah, that was insane.
that's insane.
And then this sweep was the franchise's first ever sweep.
That's crazy.
Hats off to Killer Kyle Lowry and the boys.
Man.
Also, Nick Nurse won Coach of the Year, like we said beforehand. So now next year he's going to get fired, and they're going to replace him with another coach
Yep.
who's going to be better,
Yep.
like they did with Dwayne Casey.
Yep.
Bring back George Carl.
But yeah, so we covered a lot of NBA. We covered some football. We covered some soccer. Covered some baseball here. So hopefully you guys enjoyed all of that. But yeah, I guess that's it on a Sunday night.
Double-digit episodes.
Double digit. This is number 10.
Digits.
Didn't even notice that.
Getting it cracking
Thanks
like
for
the
mentioning it.
bullpen.
Yeah.
We got Aaron here
Well,
Griff, man.
and Robert.
signing off.
Support the you.
Thanks, everybody. Hope you enjoyed.